I'm a baby YouTuber, and this week I celebrated my 4-month anniversary of posting on YouTube. Thanks so much for the applause. Oh my goodness, every single time, without fail. You guys are the best. Welcome back to my monthly series where I document my growth month over month, dig into the YouTube studio analytics, and reflect on everything that I've learned in the last month. And you guys, elephant in the room, month 4 has been absolutely crazy for my channel. Month 4, if nothing else, taught me that a lot can change in 1 month. This time in my month 3 video, I think I had maybe a little under 700 subscribers, and now I can officially say that I'm actually monetized on this platform, which is pretty mind-blowing in a 4-month period of time. I was certainly not expecting this to go so quickly. I've been so excited to talk to you guys about this one, so let's just dive into the analytics. By the way, my name's Kate and I talk about all things intentional living, financial literacy, and developing our relationships with social media and technology on my channel. If you're one of the many people who just discovered my channel sometime in the last month, then thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you beyond belief, and I am just so excited to have you as a part of this community now. I think we're building something so awesome together here, and every single month I essentially track what has happened in my last month of my YouTube journey. So now we're in YouTube Studio, and right from the channel dashboard page, it's already crazy. Just all the new stuff here. Welcome to the YouTube Partner Program. That was crazy to see pop up. Yeah, let's just get straight into the analytics. I'm not gonna hold back any longer. So here we are on the channel analytics page, and what I like to do is just look at the very last month and do a custom date range. I've been posting consistently since around September 15th. So every single 15th of the month is a just great time to look back and see where the journey has brought me so far. So I'm gonna go and customize this date range from December 15th to January 15th, hit apply, and then we can look at the analytics for the last month together. I am covering up the revenue right now. Spoiler alert, I already said this, but I was monetized in the last month. But I am going to be making a video specifically dedicated to the monetization process and also just my general content creation process and how I've been thinking about things here. So that is to come, but that's just a little bit of a teaser. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait for that one. Okay, so here we are on the channel analytics homepage overview. And this is where the craziness of month 4 begins. In the last month, I gained over 47,500 views. What? That's just an insane amount of views. I can't get over it. A watch time of under 6,000 watch hours, 5,700 watch hours, which I honestly don't remember specifically the number from my last video, but I was not near the 4K watch hour mark. So this, in 1 month period of time, bumped me over the 4K watch hour requirement for YouTube monetization and becoming a YouTube partner. So that was really wild to see. And then I gained 1.6K subscribers. Thank you all for being here. I'm actually ecstatic and I'm flustered right now. You can tell I'm flustered when I can't really get to my words very quickly, but I honestly do have no words for this insanity. It just feels so great to me that there are so many people who are interested in the type of content that I'm putting out, the messages that I feel like I have to share. And something that I feel like I've just noticed more and more is my subscribers and the people who are being generous enough to take some time and drop a comment on a lot of my videos where I dig into specific topics and social commentary. It's been such fruitful and amazing conversations that we're having, so it really does feel like an awesome community that we're building. So if you're part of this 1.6K subscribers who came in the last month's period of time of my 4th month on YouTube, then I just want to give you a special shout out. Thank you so much for being here. Definitely feel free to go back and look at my old content too, but I'm really happy that you're here now. I'm flustered. I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna move on from that because I find it so crazy still. So thank you all for being here. In December, I had to slow down my consistency a little bit. I was moving across the country, doing a lot of stuff, talked about all of that in my January reset catch-up video, so won't get into too much detail here, but I officially am in my new apartment, and I'm happy to be finally able to pick back up on my content consistency more so now, because I actually have a comfortable space that's mine again. So I'm excited to be posting more videos and creating more content for you guys. But what was really cool to see is just in this last period of time, the fact that I was inconsistent didn't really hurt my channel too much. I think because I had already built up such a catalog, and you can see like even on the lower days, I was still getting a fair amount of views. I thought this was a ton of views at the beginning of the month and in December. I was like, oh my gosh, 700 views in a day, 175 views in a day. That's incredible. What really happened in the last month's period is, of course, one video, as they say happens, I feel like on here, one video just started to take off more and more and more, and every single day I saw more views coming in, and I was like, what is going on? If we scroll down, we can see what is the top performing content of this period. The video that really just introduced me to a lot of you new folk who are here was my video that I made in mid-October. So back essentially in like my first month and a couple days on the channel, when I was just making really casual content and not really putting, like I wasn't good. Like I'm like, this wasn't a particularly great video, but for some reason, this video from October really just exploded, and it brought in over 30,000 views in this last month's period. And so this was really the video that just put me over the edge, and we can look into the analytics for this video specifically. But yeah, you can see it was around the 80-day mark that this video finally started getting pushed out to the algorithm more and more. And that first week of January, for some reason, it just started to like hockey stick in such a wild way. So this was just crazy to see. This video alone has gotten almost 5,000 of that watch hours in the last period, and an immense amount of subscribers. So I'm really happy that this was the introduction video that did take off, because I feel like it was a pretty good representation of myself and who I am and the type of things that I'm interested in. So really happy that it was this video. But I think this really just goes to show that even when you're posting videos and they're getting no views, you never know what's gonna take off. There's so much value in posting even before you think you have an audience, even before you've built up a community, because it's nice to have that backlog of content that's available, and the algorithm can pick things up at random times, clearly. Like in the first, week, 2 weeks of this video, in the first week, there were like no views. You can literally see like 100 views. That was really exciting for me back in October, but who could have guessed, not me, that around 80 days in, the platform would finally start to push this video out. So that, I think, just goes to show YouTube and the algorithm works in strange and mysterious ways. But even if you have no views now, I think I had 10 subscribers. Like I really was at the very, very early days of my YouTube journey when I posted this video, and 3 months later, lo and behold, it really started to take off. So if you're in that early phase of just not really sure what to post, but want to start to put some sort of content out there, and you're feeling frustrated that you're not getting any views or your subscriber count isn't growing too much, don't be discouraged is all I have to say, because you never know when things are going to take off and things are going to like explode in the way that this did. This was really crazy for me to see. Something that was really great about this video being the one that had a semi-viral moment and starting to take off and being the introduction video to so many of you, it really did cause a snowball effect where people who watched this video checked out my channel and then watched a lot of my other content, because I do have a lot of content that has peripheral themes to this or kind of follows in the same line of things. I haven't been trying to niche down too much, but I am happy that I stuck to a general theme of things that I'm really passionate about and feel excited to talk about, because there was a snowball effect. And you can see this in that general time period of the last month if you go down to the other types of top performing content. Some of it was, fairly recent. This one had a pretty nice bump right at the beginning. But another top video was a video from early November for me, where honestly, this video, again, it's like not particularly good, but it had really low views in the first couple months, weeks. And then around that same time where people were starting to see that first video about why I deleted social media, they then were starting to check out my channel and look at other videos. And this is just a video that I made about like hobbies that I do now that I don't have social media and I'm trying to heal from my phone addiction and general tech addiction. This was another video that had a little bit of a snowball effect. People started watching this in the last couple of days because they saw the other one. And you can see this across a couple other videos on my channel. If we go to my content section, or you go to the content section here, Still Learning, the YouTube studio, a lot of these videos from just my previous date ranges earlier in my YouTube journey, a lot of them had bumps from this experience. Like here in my Fighting FOMO video, had a total bump, had a growth in subscribers. Another video, that phone addiction video, this losing your voice to social media, this video had a little bit of a bump and a growth in subscribers around that same time. So it's just really cool to see what video is going to be the one that is your moment to shine and be the video that takes off a little more than the other. I think a pretty big learning that I had from this experience of this last month period of time where one of my older videos did start to take off and became that video that was quasi-viral and was the introduction for a lot of people to me and to the type of content I make. I feel pretty strongly that you should, from the beginning, be talking about things that you actually want to talk about on your channel. And I know like niching down is pretty common advice, but I don't mean niche down. I think it's just good to have a general theme and also understand your motivation for being on YouTube. And I call this out because I'm seeing this kind of trend right now in our small creator community where a lot of people are circulating the same styles of content, specifically things like YouTube being on easy mode or, small creators are exploding right now. And all the videos are talking about is how small creators are exploding. Like there's no substance to the content. And like it could potentially be a good introduction if you have a really strong personality and you're making this type of content, could be a good introduction for people just to understand your personality. But I feel like for so many of these creators, they may explode from making these type of content. You don't really know. The YouTube algorithm could totally push them out there, but then you would be popular and you would have, exploded or gotten monetized or whatever, have all these subscribers who are there for content about being a small creator who's exploding. What's your ultimate motivation for being on the YouTube platform? Because if you become popular from this type of content, you might feel motivated to continue to make this type of content, or that subscriber base that you have built up may not be there for whatever you do authentically want to talk about. So there could be downstream effects for when you do eventually want to start to introduce other things. And a lot of these subscribers didn't really know what you were trying to talk about on your channel or what your ultimate niche or goal of being on YouTube was going to be. And they might be confused when you start to make different types of content. And I'm almost positive that you would lose subscribers from that. And also, the algorithm might get confused because you have all these subscribers who are like ghost subscribers who aren't watching your actual content that you wanted to put out in the first place. So this is just something that I'm watching. And if you are a small creator, I would be wary about this. I'm really, really grateful that the video that did push me over the edge into being a YouTube partner and was the one that, introduced me to more people. I'm so happy that it was one where I was talking authentically about a topic that I'm passionate about. And I'm glad that everything that I put on this channel thus far has also fallen into that category, because why would I want to explode for something that wasn't authentically me or a topic that I wanted to replicate talking about time and time again? It just, that's like a trend that I'm seeing that I feel like a lot of these YouTubers may not realize. Like, you might be building up subscribers, sure, and like maybe you'll be monetized, but what's the point in that? Like, what's the point in making these videos where you're just going over your subscriber count every single day? Or, I don't know, churning this content when this doesn't seem very fun or interesting. Like, I personally, at least, am on YouTube because I think it's just such a cool platform to put out interesting messages and connect with a community of people who are aligned and have similar interests to me and passions. And I can have a really awesome community and we have really great conversations. Like, that's my reason for being on YouTube. Like, I want to help educate people from my experience. I'm not here to grow for growth's sake. So it just, like, that's something that I'm wary about and I feel pretty strongly about now. Like, if you are going to become popular, grow on YouTube, I think it should be for whatever you want to talk about. And I'm not saying niche, but I'm saying maybe theme. Maybe have a general theme of things that you're passionate about and want to share and want to build a community off of. Like, I think these YouTubers who are making this type of content are going to wake up with pretty empty, unfulfilling communities that they've built. But maybe I'm just a little too cautious there, and maybe I'm just a little too proud of the community that we're building here, because I feel like we've got something really good cooking here. So that was just an aside, but something I feel pretty strongly about from my month 4 of being on YouTube. Back into my analytics, something that I've found to be interesting and also something that I've gotten a lot of feedback on in my comments has been, I think that I have had a misunderstanding of what sort of content style people are enjoying consuming from me. I've really been enjoying making these video essays, and I mean, I really enjoy the editing process on them. It's really fun for me to try and lean into what I feel like in my head is a pretty YouTube-y style. But to be fair, that's probably because a lot of my YouTube early exposure was in like middle school when everything was that very like flashy, poppy sounds, whatever. I've gotten feedback that people are actually really loving the more chatty style content where I am kind of just speaking stream of consciousness style and just whatever's on my head and maybe even rambling a little bit, but telling stories. This is the feedback that I've gotten, and the analytics match it as well. The higher view videos are all ones where I'm just a little bit more speaking from the heart and like just sharing random thoughts that are coming my way and bringing up topics that I find interesting in my own life. So these videos, for example, on just my own experience coming to intentional living in my life, thinking about how I think that boredom is a really valuable tool and feeling that we all need to experience. These were some pretty high view ones. If we go down by how deleting social media changed my life, that video's really a ramble, like truly a ramble. So I was surprised that that was the one that would take off, but everyone seems to really be enjoying that type of content. This video essay did pretty well. My video essay on escaping brain rot, as well as my individuality, are you losing individuality to social media, and just talking about like algorithm speak, that did pretty well. But I'd say on whole, the ones that are doing better and the ones that I've been getting feedback on are a little bit more rambly style, which is cool. It's just not what I knew. So I think that that was another learning for me in the last month, reflecting upon it. The style of videos that people are enjoying watching right now on YouTube are more of this casual, authentic expression of yourself in a video and a creative outlet, which I'm glad that you all have told me this, because I'll definitely start to prioritize making some more of this content. And I'm really enjoying everyone like also giving feedback in my community tab on my channel, because that has been really helpful for me to kind of start to tailor my videos a little bit more to what you guys want. I'm definitely gonna start to make more of this content. It's much easier editing wise, so that makes it really helpful. But I still love making my video essays, so those aren't going away, but definitely going to maybe, just do more of a mix moving forward. I think that's going to be my content style strategy. With now in the last month becoming a part of the YouTube Partner Program and being monetized on the platform, I've really started to reflect a lot on how can I ethically monetize on YouTube? Because as you guys know, if you have watched some of my other videos, I do work in the advertising tech space, and generally I'm pretty wary of the fact that all of these platforms essentially are content farms in order to ultimately make these companies and their shareholders money. Like, that's the whole cycle here. We are all putting out content to ultimately, like, the value proposition is the fact that this free content that we upload attracts people's attention and brings eyeballs to the YouTube platform. And then YouTube and the Google ads people who work there, they will go and sell that ad inventory to different brands and advertisers who want to reach us and our eyeballs. And I understand the value proposition, and like, you know, I'm obviously making content for it because I find the platform to be so powerful in terms of building community and sharing messaging in a way that like I wouldn't do on social media, because I really kind of despise social media. So can't go back there. YouTube feels like an educational, interesting platform, and I love making videos. So that is why I have intentionally chosen the platform. But I'm just very wary and, you know, have my own kind of odd relationship with the fact that that is how this platform like monetizes itself. Like, we creators, we do get to monetize by taking a little piece of it, but this is how YouTube monetizes on a bigger scale. So I just have been really hesitant to, you know, splash my videos with a ton of ads. Like, that would be so inauthentic to the type of content that I'm trying to create if I were to just like hyper monetize this channel and put a bunch of ads in there. Like, how awful would that feel? I want to have way more interesting conversations with you guys than to chop it up with a bunch of ads. Unless, of course, it's right now. I don't know if that worked. Let me know in the comments down below if that did work or if I lost you. I apologize for that. I just had to try the power there once. Back to ethical monetization. I want to monetize because this is a time-consuming thing that I'm doing, but I don't want to do it in that way. So something that I really would love to get your guys' feedback on is your interest in maybe joining my newsletter. This is something that I've been workshopping for a while. What I've come to realize is the issue for me is I have too many topics that I want to talk to you guys about. And I wish I could put out a video every single day when a topic comes to mind, but it is really time consuming to sit down, speak to my camera, edit it, upload it, like all this stuff that goes into the process. But for example, in the last 2 weeks, I would have loved to make content on the TikTok ban. Like, as a former TikTok employee, would have loved to talk to you guys about this. Net neutrality, like, that is a big conversation that's happening again that I haven't really been able to engage with. There are so many different topics and concepts that I would love to actually dig into with you guys, but can't always do it in the sit down video format. So my thought is I would love to have a newsletter. And if any of you are actually interested in the content and the type of topics and themes that I speak about on this channel, for example, you know, like tech and advertising industry business, the media landscape, and my own thoughts and perspective and commentary on it, just broadly what's going on in the tech world, but also concepts. Like, I've really wanted to do a video on cynicism. Hopefully that comes up soon, but I feel like I've got a lot of things to say about just that right now. I would love to have a bi-weekly newsletter as an additional touch point with anyone who actually wants to like learn more about those topics. I can share resources of things that I'm listening to and reading and finding interesting and helpful for me. And I'd love to just open up the conversation even more with you guys and have this regular touch point, regular conversation starter through a newsletter in your email inbox twice a month, just to talk about those other sorts of topics. So this isn't for everyone. This is only for people who are genuinely interested in those types of themes that I talk about on this channel. If you are interested in that, or are just like somewhat curious about it and want to get more information, I do have a link down below. This is entirely my own little project because I like to talk about these topics. So if anyone wants to talk about them together, essentially, then this is for you to check out. So check that out down below. I also have a code for 50% off of like the first 2 months that you try this out, because especially the first 2 months, this is going to be very much feedback based. I would love to hear if you're finding it valuable, what sort of topics you want to be hearing from me, and also in general, if you think that this makes sense in terms of another way for me to monetize. But it kind of would just be a good way to show support for the channel, keep this conversation that we have going in another place in your email inbox, totally not a nuisance. And I don't know, I have way too many ideas and concepts that I'd like to talk about, but can't always be had in a video format. This is something that I'm workshopping and would love for you to join and also get some feedback on if you do join. So definitely take a look down below. It's called Kate's Takes, and they'll be coming into your email inbox twice a month, bi-weekly. So that's just something I wanted to roll out. And yeah, thanks for listening to my little spiel on ethical monetization. It's really been something that I've been kicking around in my head. So I would love to get your feedback on it. Please leave a comment down below on how you think that creators should monetize in an ethical way, because here's what I know I will never do. I'm not going to sell you a course. Like, I'm not going to, I don't know, put a worksheet together that you can buy from my little store. Like, I kind of hate that that is such an odd, prominent thing that people are doing on the platform, because I think 90%, if not more, 90% are entirely like charlatans. It's all a farce. It's all people who are just purporting that they are these experts in different areas and often just selling junk. And I do not want to do that. I would never do that. Like, that's just so inauthentic to who I am, and it's unethical. It's ridiculous. So that's me trying to think about how to monetize in an ethical way. Would love your feedback. And yeah, join my newsletter. I'd love to have you guys and just build out this community even more. Going back into the analytics, there are 2 additional really cool data points that I wanted to show you guys that I noticed in the last month. So as I have garnered more subscribers and more people who are coming to my account, something that is new that just popped up are these 2 different sections: channels that your audience watches and what your audience watches in the last 7 days. So just another really cool data point that YouTube surfaces for you if you want to see what other sort of channels are in the space who are talking about similar topics that your audiences seem to be interested in. I don't think that you should ever be copying other creators, but it's cool to see who shares similar interests than you and is also putting out content similar to yours. So I thought that that was like a really cool data point that YouTube surfaces for you just as you do tailor your channel even more and start to develop your niche. So that can be found in the audience tab here. And then the final thing that I thought was really cool, if we go back to overview, see more, and then we go to cities. Let's go to cities for the last, that same custom date range of December 15th. Where are we? December 15th to January 15th. Apply. This was really cool for me to see, because this is just crazy. So YouTube surfaces the cities of where people are viewing and watching your content. And what I found from this tab is this platform is so global. And you guys are so global and international. Leave a comment where you're from down below, because it's boggled my mind, the fact that people are viewing this from London, from Sydney, from Toronto, from there's so many, Montreal, Dublin, Berlin, Perth. What the heck? Like, all of these places, people are actually watching this content. That was really mind-blowing for me. Sao Paulo? Hello, Brazil. Like, thank you for being here. I don't know. This one really blew my mind, and it just made me appreciate so much more the fact that the content that I'm putting out and the messaging that I'm trying to share with the world is resonating with people, and it's bringing together this community of like-minded individuals who are having really thoughtful discussions in the comment section. And I'm just so happy that you guys are all here. This was a really cool data point to see come together, because it just really blew my mind, and I appreciate you all so much. Just to cap it all out, it's interesting to look at the whole lifetime of my channel, but here's where you can just see the last month really everything exploded. A lot can change in 1 month. I was really excited when I got this first bump in late September. I got my first 100 views. I was so stoked. I was like, let me figure out what's going on here. And like, all of this has just been such a fun and inspiring journey, and I'm so happy to be connecting with so many more of you now. Like, thank you all for being here. I promise I'm gonna keep making content that's authentic to me and hopefully talks about really interesting topics that you guys are passionate about as well. Please keep leaving the comments. I love the discussions that we have, and thank you all so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see what the next month brings. If you're curious, you can always go back and watch my other monthly analytics wrap-up videos because they're all accessible on my channel and I linked them down below. But thank you all so much for tuning in. We will talk again very soon, and I am just really so grateful. I don't even know what to say, so I should probably stop filming this video now because I'm really overwhelmed, honestly. I think I should stop talking. Thank you all so much. We'll talk again soon. Bye.